Everybody, it's me, Earl Jones, back with a new video. This is me just doing my thoughts on the Pence-Harris debate that I watched last night. You wonder why the truck is kind of, looks like it's at a funky angle? I'm parked perpendicular to a slope, so I don't have, my driver's side tires are all flat. I'm just parked in a funny angle. But yeah, so I watched the debate. It was, as you could say, I guess if someone could say that it was more civilized than the debate between Trump and Biden. But it was okay. It was, not as exciting. They didn't have a lot of exciting moments, but there were some good parts. I would say that Pence, his personality is he's definitely not as bombastic as Trump, nor is he as cutthroat with rebuttals. But he did have some good ones. The first one that actually made me burst out laughing is where he talked about there was a matter of plagiarism, and I think he was accusing Kamala Harris, as far as plagiarizing the Trump-Pence coronavirus response, the blow by blow, and he said that which is funny because Joe Biden has he has a good history of he has a noted history of plagiarizing, because he's plagiarized several speeches that he's done in the past. I think many people have actually accused him of plagiarizing his own speech when he announced his nomination at the DNC. But it was all right. They brought up a lot of good topics. I think Pence, if he knew more about some things about Kamala, as far as her with Willie Brown and the keeping prisoners locked up even longer so she can milk them for more labor. If he knew more about that, I think he could offer those up as rebuttals. But I'd say he did a good job in holding his own. He really was like a wingman for the president, which I think is good. If you're going to serve as his second in command, then it really helps to be able to, have his back. They may not agree on with everything, but at least he has his back. Harris, well, she did what I expected her to do. She lied. She gave up that she rambled on more about that hoax with George Floyd, about him being killed by the cop, who by the way has actually just been released on, I think it was $1 million bail. So he's out, which good for him, because he did, I guess you say maybe he was careless in how he handled having his knee on his neck, but really he didn't kill him. Floyd died from a drug overdose because he was on so many different drugs. He died from a fentanyl overdose because they caught on camera him trying to swallow some fentanyl that he was trying to sell, and you guys didn't want to get caught with it. So, and then basically he OD'd right there on the spot, which explained his erratic behavior. But yeah, she tried that out, about talking about whether just more stuff about race relations in this country. Pence did say that he trusts law enforcement, and he is right that the Trump-Pence candidacy does have a strong backing for law enforcement, because Trump was the only one who's really answering the call to the riots that are going on, and Pence did bring up the riots. I think Amazing Lucas, he had like a scoreboard on his live feed, and I think he gave Pence 4 and gave Kamala Harris a 2. I haven't watched this video. I didn't watch this video. I was watching on my computer the debate. I was on my phone checking out the live feed and just going through the comments that people were leaving. A lot of people were, a lot of people in his live feed were pro Pence. That's myself, and so it was interesting just to see how he was able to hold his own during the debate. He had an interesting tactic where he would ask the question, but instead of directly answering that question, he went back to the previous question to give a greater emphasis on his answer, on the answer he wanted to give, and then he would double back again, doing the same thing. So there was a talk about, I think it was asked about abortion and about Roe v. Wade, and he talked about, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, he talked about Amy Coney Barrett being, the potential of her becoming being on the Supreme Court. And he didn't answer right away, but then the next question was asked to him. He went back and answered it. And I think what he was doing was he was giving Kamala Harris rope to hang herself, because he was basically just letting her talk. Just let her talk. A lot of people said that's what Trump should have did when he was debating Biden. He should just let him talk. And when he was unable to keep himself together, people would see that. But Trump is, he's his own attack dog. So he was really going in strong to show that he's not going to be ran over during the debate. He's not going to be bullied. Because again, it did come off as a handicap match between Trump versus Biden and Wallace. But the debate was okay. A little forward to the next debate. This should be coming up maybe next week, if I'm not mistaken. That's it. Share your thoughts. How do you think Pence did? How do you think Harris did? Where do you stand as far as the presidential election is going? Do you think you have high hopes? Are you filled with despair? Please share your thoughts. Leave a comment in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. If you want to donate to the channel, look for the give up that cheese button, and you can send a ticket to PayPal. Donate any amount you would like. Any gripes, complaints, see me at PM. I see if I can address them. That's my video, just my thoughts on the Pence-Harris debate. I'm Edward Jones. You guys take care, be safe, and God bless.